WoodSongs Kids is funded in part by the Kentucky Department of Tourism. Information about the lakes, mountains, parks, sports, music, art festivals, and more is available online at kentuckytourism.com. By the Martin Guitar Company, building handcrafted guitars for professionals and front porch pickers since 1833. Online at martinguitars.com. And by the Deering Banjo Company, making American-made handcrafted banjos. Their full catalog of banjos is online at deeringbanjos.com.
WoodSongs Kids, celebrating the music of America's front porch from the Lyric Theater in Lexington, Kentucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name's Michaela Rain Jonathan. Welcome to WoodSongs Kids. Here's my daddy, folk singer Michael Jonathan.
Thank you, Michaela. We're going to sing a song together. Ready? Here we go. Sitting on a creaky old rocking chair. They say it's going to rain. We don't care. Dancing with you all afternoon on the front porch with me. Listen to the rhythm of the summer rain, tapping out a tempo on my window pane. Nothing like summer on my front porch swing, making my banjo ring. I'm playing my banjo on a rocking chair. You can play your fiddle in your underwear, just as pretty as a rainbow in your hair. On the front porch with me, when you're on the front porch with me. Good, Michaela, and welcome everybody to a show called WoodSongs Kids. Youngsters come from everywhere to be on a broadcast where we're celebrating the music of America's front porch, kids style. We love the music of families and hometowns and rural communities, and that's what we celebrate on our broadcast. And as far as our youngsters are concerned, you don't have to be perfect. We just want you to have a lot of fun. So we have two kids to introduce to you on this particular broadcast. First up is a fellow that plays a banjo. Did you know that the banjo comes from Africa, and it's very, very old, and about 100 years ago or so, they added a fifth string to it, and it became really, really popular in bluegrass world, and so we want to introduce a young 11-year-old boy. He's going to play the banjo with you. Please welcome Reese Carroll to WoodSongs Kids. job. Reese Carroll, he's 11 years old. And let's talk about your banjo for a minute. Okay, you started playing. How old were you when you started playing?
7 years old.
7 years old. You're 11 years old now, so you've not been playing a whole long time, and yet you're really, really good. You're better at 11 years old than most grown-ups are when they've been trying to play for a long time, right? So what was it that made you want to pick up the banjo?
Well, it's just got such a cool sound.
Yeah, did you know anybody who played the banjo at the time that showed you how to do it?
Not really,
So you just kind of picked it up on your own?
pretty much.
Yeah, who was your hero? Who was your banjo hero?
The one and only J.D. Crow.
J.D. Crow. Well, tip of the hat told J.D. Now, you even got to meet J.D. Crow, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Now, for the folks that are listening and tuning in that may not know who J.D. Crow is, he was one of the best, most iconic banjo players ever in the history of bluegrass music, right? And you got to meet him. So what was that day like when you met him?
Well, it was really extraordinary.
Yeah? Where did you go any place special? Or did you just go to his house? What did you do?
I just went to his house and we ate and picked a little bit.
That must have been fun. You're picking with a real banjo legend, right?
Yes, sir.
Did he teach you a lot?
He gave me a few tips and showed me who I need to take lessons from.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to play another song, and then maybe you can give all the folks that are watching on TV a little banjo lesson. We'll work on that next, okay? Well, you're going to do a great tune called Little Darlin' Pal of Mine. What is it about this that you like?
Oh, it starts out in the one of the number 4 chord, which is C.
C instead of the G, right?
Right.
Well, let's go ahead and listen. It's called Little Darlin' Pal of Mine, 11 years old, Reese Carroll on WoodSongs Kids.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Reese Carroll, 11 years old, playing his banjo. So let's take a look now at how the banjo works, okay? So how many strings is on a banjo?
5.
5 strings, and you've got some things on your right hand that you're picking with. Why don't you hold it up, hold your hand up, and explain what's on your fingers.
These are banjo picks.
Hold your hand up nice and like that. Yeah.
The thumb pick is plastic, and the other two for the middle and index are metal. And it just makes a loud pop noise when you use them, and not just a mellow, kind of quiet noise, because you want a loud noise out of your banjos.
Yeah, so the finger picks is what helps it get loud, right? So was that a hard thing? What did you have to do to learn how to play with finger picks?
Well, just take a little bit of time out of practicing and just using them, and half the time not using them, and then the rest of the time using them.
Right. So it's just a matter of just sitting down. Like, what'd you do? Like, sit on the couch and watch your favorite TV show, and during the commercials, you'd pick?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Okay, so let's. What kind of roll would you practice with on the banjo?
Oh, just a normal alternating thumb roll.
Okay, and what's another kind of roll that you would do?
Forward row.
Okay. And you would just sit and just do that and do that and do that. And most songs that you play are those rolls? Just different combinations of those rolls?
Yes.
Okay, and so you're gonna do, what's the name of the song that you're gonna do next?
It's Sally Gooden.
Sally Good. Now, this is a traditional bluegrass type song, right? And it's kind of fast. So we're gonna check it out. He's 11 years old, Reese Carroll on the banjo on WoodSongs Kids. Reese Carroll, 11
Thank you
years
so
old.
much.
Okay, now I got another question for you, because we have about a minute here. So now Earl Scruggs is another very popular banjo player, right?
Yes, sir.
And do you like some of his music?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. What's the most fun Earl Scruggs song that you play?
Foggy Mountain Breakdown.
Give me a little bit of Foggy Mountain. Keep going. No, just keep playing. There you go. Good job keeping up with that.
Thank you so much.
11 years old, Reese Carroll. We are so enjoying celebrating the music of WoodSongs Kids on our broadcast, kids from everywhere to be on our show. If you have a youngster that you think belongs on our broadcast, we want you to send us a little YouTube clip of them. If you go to our WoodSongs website, click on the Kids TV page, we'll be able to take a look at everything that comes in. Did you know that the guitar is over 1,000 years old? It's one of the most popular instruments in the whole world, and millions of people play the guitar, and that's what our next artist is doing. He's going to be playing a guitar, and he's really good at it. It's something called thumb picking, and we're going to talk to him about what kind of style that is on the guitar. So let's welcome him, the 14 years old, Caleb Hardin, right here on WoodSongs Kids. There you go. Caleb Hardin on the guitar, 14 years old. Now, how long have you been playing the guitar?
A little over a year.
What? Really? Just 1 year?
Mm-hmm.
You got that good in just 1 year.
I had
So
a good
there's hope for everybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now what made you pick up the guitar at 13 years old?
Well, I heard Chet Adkins play.
So you heard Chet Adkins play, decided to play the guitar for the first time, and 12 months later you're on a national broadcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, why not, right? So you must have practiced a lot. Yeah. So what is a normal your home practicing? What do you normally do on the guitar?
Most time it's Baby's Coming Home.
That song is what you play.
Yep. that's
Okay. Well,
good
we're going to
warm-up.
get to that song here in a minute. But when you're practicing, do you practice scales?
No, not as much as it is more just the
Just the thumb picking
5, 4,
style.
6, 4 beat.
So that's thumb picking. So explain to the audience what thumb picking is. Let's dissect that. And let's get the cameras close on your hands. What is thumb picking?
So thumb picking is where you have an alternating bass line, 5, 5, 4, 6, 4, and then you play the melody on top of that. So.
That's a Libby Cotton song, Freight Train. Well, very good. That was really cool. Now, you heard Chet Adkins play. Now, he was a very complicated player, wasn't he? So was it kind of daunting for you to try to copy his style?
Oh, definitely.
So how did you sat down for the first time? Did you like YouTube him? How did you learn his stuff?
Well, I first tried with YouTube and then realized that wasn't going to work.
What worked?
found
I'm
a
sure the
teacher.
audience wants to know what on earth worked.
I found a teacher. His name's Wesley Crider, and I think he's about as good as you can get.
So what was a normal thing he would show you? What would he show you on the guitar?
Well, a lot of it was the chords.
Okay, well, we're going to get into another song. Now, this is the song that you said that you practice to a lot, right? This is called Baby's Coming Home. Now, where did you learn this? Who inspired you to learn this song?
Well, I first heard Chet Adkins play it, and then I think Jerry Reed originally wrote it.
Right.
And my teacher taught it to me.
All right, he's 14 years old. He's going to play a rather difficult song, Baby's Coming Home. It's Caleb Hardin on WoodSongs Kids. Caleb Harden, 14 years old, and you've only been playing for just 1 year, right? So now, are there like community groups that will sit around with their guitars and you can go join them and play? What is that like?
Well, in Drakesboro, Kentucky, there's the Kentucky Thumbpickers group, and first Saturday of every month, they have a little group meeting up there, and we go up there and we play.
And so you're surrounded by other thumb pickers, and they all have acoustic guitars.
Yes.
Right? And what do you learn from folks when you're sitting there in person with them and they're playing a song that you've never played before? What do you learn from them?
Well, you'll see them playing, they'll hit a cool chord, or they'll do a little roll or lick or something, and you'll try to pick it up or say, show me what that was. And you can learn a lot.
When you're playing, what is the hardest song that you know, that you think you play really well?
Probably Cannonball Rag.
Cannonball, the one that you played earlier, right? What's another song that's like that? Like, do you know any other Chet Adkins type songs?
I know San Antonio Rose.
Well, let's hear some of that. Play that song for us. go. Caleb Hardin. Now that has a real Spanish feel to it, yeah? So when you're learning how to play the guitar, you didn't have a nice guitar like this when you started.
No.
What kind of guitar did you have when you started?
I had a little Takamine nylon string.
Nylon string. Now this is a steel string.
Yes.
And this is a really nice guitar. What kind is this?
This is a Wallace. It's a handmade guitar by Mr. David Wallace. And I think he builds about the best guitars.
How hard was it to convince Mom and Dad to buy you an expensive guitar?
Not terribly hard.
Because you were honest, you were really working hard at it, right? So when you started playing, like how many hours a day were you practicing your guitar?
2, 1.5, something like that.
So you'd come home from school. Were you public school or homeschooled?
Homeschooled.
You were homeschooled. So you were just like in love with this thing when you started, right? That's an important thing. Loving something is important, right? It makes you want to do it. So what would you tell other kids that want to play the guitar like you? What would you tell them that would encourage them and show them how they need to approach the guitar?
Just stick with it. Take little steps. And just learn the basics. You know, if you're thumb picking, just learn to do that much. And then you can add in your fingers. And you'll eventually be able to play songs.
And that's how it works, right? Step by step. That's always the easiest thing. If you don't overcomplicate it, you can probably learn just about anything you want, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're going to do another song for us. What song is this one?
This is I'll See You in My Dreams.
Now, what is it about this song that you like?
Oh, it's just a pretty song.
Just a pretty song on the guitar, right? Caleb Hardin, he's 14 years old. That's really good. So there's a lot of thumb pickers out there. I mean, thumb picking is becoming like really, really popular right now, isn't it? So who's your favorite thumb picker that's out there doing concerts right now?
I guess Tommy Emmanuel.
Tommy Emmanuel from Australia, right? And, you know, when we started this, you played Cannonball Rag, which was so good. Why don't we close the show? Give me another minute of Cannonball Rag.
All right.
Wasn't it great having young Caleb Hardin playing his guitar? And the amazing Reese Carroll, 11 years old, playing his banjo. We learned so much from watching these amazing WoodSongs kids. You know, Mr. Rogers said, listening is where love begins. And that's sort of the theme of our WoodSongs Kids show. We are encouraging everybody to listen to each other. Because like Caleb said, you know, when you sit down and listen to somebody else, that encourages you to play. And this world needs a lot more listening. And so we want to thank everybody for being on our broadcast and for watching our show. And so, Miss Michaela, you want to tell everybody thank you?
Thank you for watching our show. We'll be back next week for more WoodSongs Kids.
WoodSongs Kids is funded in part by the Kentucky Department of Tourism. Information about the lakes, mountains, parks, sports, music, art festivals, and more is available online at kentuckytourism.com. By the Martin Guitar Company, building handcrafted guitars for professionals and front porch pickers since 1833. Online at martinguitars.com. And by the Deering Banjo Company, making American-made handcrafted banjos. Their full catalog of banjos is online at deeringbanjos.com.